Good morning. It's Thursday, November 23rd. Here's what we're working on. The Rainbow Bridge in Niagara remains closed after a crash and explosion at the border crossing.
Brantford police are offering a $10,000 reward for any information regarding a 2016 murder.
And the first 5 episodes of Squid Game, The Challenge, have dropped. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. A lot calmer in our region.
Do you hear me now? I guess my mic was not on.
Oh,
Do you
I can
hear me now, Laura?
Yes.
Okay,
We're
that's good.
Yeah.
I did not do the thing that I'm supposed to do, is turn on my mic. So that's good. Hello,
Hey.
Brian.
Hey, good morning.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on today?
Today, we could see a little bit of sunshine today, but we could also see a shower for the day today.
Okay.
But yeah, we're starting off mild. 6
Yeah, it is
degrees will be the high. We're at 3 right now, which is above seasonal for a start to the day. So 6 degrees today, but chance of a shower. Oh, but it's going to get cold tonight. It'll be a chilly overnight and a chilly day tomorrow with that F word in there. Some flurries in the forecast for the day tomorrow. We'll talk about that coming up. Quick check on traffic here this morning. As you can see, 403 Waterdown Road area is doing okay. Usually this time of the morning, really the volume hasn't started to build yet. That's the way you'll see it on our MTO traffic cameras. We just show you a few here. Here's Centennial Parkway. That's really good right now. Later on this morning, oh yeah, that really gets jammed. But right now we're fine. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge looks good. East of Appleby Line, Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us, heading toward Oakville, doing all right. Right now we are collision-free. We are there's still some lingering construction, so we're not construction-free yet. But that will progress as the morning goes on, and we'll look at weather and traffic coming up. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, the Rainbow Bridge remains closed after a fiery crash on the U.S. side of the border killed 2 people. That led to the closure temporarily of all 4 crossings in Niagara. Simone Gavros joins us now with more on what happened.
Hi, Anna. Well, yes, it was a very fluid and concerning situation yesterday when the initial car crash happened at the Rainbow Bridge, given the nature of the crash and the timing so close to Thanksgiving in the United States. But we are learning more about the crash as this investigation continues. Reports say that the 2 people inside the car were husband and wife and were there when it struck the side of a building at the border, and security footage of the crash shows the car traveling at an extremely high speed before hitting a median and going airborne. Now, the footage shows that when the car hit the building, it burst into flames. And now initially there were concerns that the crash was terror-related. Law enforcement on both sides of the border jumped into action, ramping up security at the borders and airports out of an abundance of caution, and also shutting down border crossings in Niagara. But the FBI confirmed in a statement last night that they found no connection to terrorism or explosive material at the scene. Now, yesterday we spoke to witnesses who were near the crash site, and they described what they saw.
We heard a sound, and it was like a boom, loud sound. So we got our attention, and everybody rushed to the window just to see what was happening. Parts of the car was just all over the place, but I didn't see anything flying. I was hoping that we were all going to be safe and then out of that place. And at the same time, I was curious to know what was going on. This is like my first time experiencing something like this, so I was a bit curious as well.
Now, the FBI says that the matter has been handed over to the Niagara Falls Police Department as a traffic investigation, and Niagara Falls Mayor Jim Diodati says the Rainbow Bridge may reopen this weekend. Tim, I'll send things over to you.
All right, thanks, Simone. Well, Brantford police, they are offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the person responsible for the 2016 death of 45-year-old Jeffrey James Roberts. Roberts was reported missing on November the 11th, 2016, after he had not been seen or heard from since November 5th. He was later found dead on November 21st when a citizen located his body in a field near the West Street Highway 403 overpass. His death was ruled a homicide. 7 years later, officers remain committed to finding the person or persons responsible for his murder and are asking anyone with information to come forward or call Crime Stoppers.
Hamilton police are looking for a man after a suspicious incident near Tim Hortons Field. Police say a 10-year-old child was approached by a man at Melrose Avenue and Cannon Street around 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon, claiming to pick them up from school. They say the child sensed something was off and walked away. The man is white, about 6 feet tall, with short blonde hair. He had several piercings on his face and tattoos on both hands. He was wearing a dark blue coat and gray sweatpants.
There are increased calls for a return to urgent health care at 2 centers in Niagara.
And I'm calling on this government to do the right thing. By using emergency funding and sending in appropriate staffing, we can ensure Fort Erie has the 24/7 health care they need and deserve.
There's Niagara Falls MPP Wayne Gates, whose riding includes Douglas Memorial Urgent Care in Fort Erie, has presented a petition at Queen's Park with over 4,000 signatures. It demands the return of around-the-clock urgent care in Fort Erie and Port Colborne. They've been without it since July because of staff shortages. A spokesperson for Niagara Health says the urgent care centers are not for emergencies and staff will coordinate a transfer to an emergency department if required.
City of Hamilton's moving ahead with a massive building proposed for the waterfront at Pier 8. Council has approved a change to the city's bylaw that will allow for a 45-story tower near the end of Guys Street. It's expected to have more than 400 units. The city says the tower is intended to achieve landmark status and serve as a visual anchor on the waterfront. The bylaw amendment also states that the added height will allow for larger units.
Let's stay in Hamilton because it looks like the city will not be getting a vacant unit tax after all, at least not yet anyways.
So that is defeated. 6-6-1.
In an effort to increase Hamilton's housing stock, earlier this year, city staff, or city council that is, directed staff to create a policy to tax owners of vacant properties an additional 1%. Now, in January, that passed with a 10-5 vote. But during yesterday's city council meeting, a vote to finally enact that bylaw, it failed in a 6-6 vote with one person not voting. Their 3 councillors were absent, including past supporters Cameron Kretsch and Narinder Nayan. The mayor also declared a conflict and abstained from voting, saying she's currently the landlord of a vacant unit. Now, in a tweet, Nan says that she had to step out to care for a sick family member and was beyond disappointed to come back to find the bill had failed, saying it lacks professionalism and disregards the work already put into the program. Now, Councillor Maureen Wilson also expressed her disappointment on Twitter, saying she trusts that good judgment will prevail and the course will be corrected.
In the meantime, British Columbia is expanding its speculation and vacancy tax. The NDP government introduced it in 2018. It will now apply to 59 cities and towns in British Columbia. Vernon, Penticton, Courtenay, and Kamloops are among the 13 communities that have been added. Starting in 2025, residential property owners will have to declare how they used their home in 2024. BC has collected $313 million from this speculation and vacancy tax, which has been used to fund affordable housing in the municipalities that the tax applies to. Another hurdle to giving blood in this country has been lifted. Health Canada has granted approval to stop a ban on blood donations from people who lived in or traveled to the UK, Ireland, or France for long periods of time in the 1980s and 90s. The ban was adopted to prevent the transmission of the human form of mad cow disease. Earlier this year, Canadian Blood Services also ended a practice prohibiting gay men from donating blood.
All right, with it being American Thanksgiving down south, all eyes will be on the NFL with 3 games taking place, meaning the NHL, NBA, they don't want to compete, so both leagues have no games on this holiday, but a full slate last night, including the Raptors in tough against the Pacers.
Raptors down 1.
Both teams with a timeout here if you need it. Any issues?
Collision there. Here's Scotty. Turns the corner. Slam dunk. And a foul.
Scotty Barnes coming through right there. The go-ahead bucket with 27 seconds left to put the Raps ahead for good over the high-powered Indiana offense, who had a chance to win it on their final possession after Gary Trent Jr. missed both his free throws, but the 3 did not fall. Toronto back in the win column with the 132-131 win, backed by Pascal Siakam's 36 points. They host Chicago tomorrow.
Tried the underhand scoop. Couldn't get it up to the rim. He had nowhere to pass it to. Shea putting his head down. It's going to be a blocking foul.
To our other favorite team, the OKC Thunder, led by who else? Hamilton Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who's having himself a season. He had quite the game against Doubles in front of his home fans in Oklahoma City, who were chanting MVP. And why not? SGA would drop 40 points, now averaging over 30 a game, but also had 12 assists, becoming only the second Canadian after Steve Nash to have a 40-point double-double. OKC wins their 6th straight game, 116-102 over Chicago. Things not as hunky-dory for another Hamilton lad as Oilers' Darnell Nurse during warm-ups before their game at Carolina takes a puck off the head after deflecting off the crossbar. Nurse would leave warm-ups and have to be stitched up. Yeah, stuffed there too. Not looking too good. Missed the start of the game, but he's a hockey player, so of course he played. Oilers not playing their best as they would allow 4 first-period goals to the Canes. Lose their 3rd straight, 6-3 the final. They have the 3rd worst record in the league for a team that had cup aspirations.
McMichael took that pass away. Sabres get it back again. Here's Benson in front. What a move! Scores!
So most of the time, scoring your first career NHL goal is not pretty. Not the case for Sabres rookie Zach Benson. Look at this! What? Through the legs? Bar down? Whoa!
Wow.
That is goal number 1. The 13th overall pick in this summer's draft was playing in his 9th game for Buffalo, but we'll always have a story in that highlight video to show the grandkids. Capitals, they would get the last laugh, though, as they beat Buffalo 4-3 in overtime. And big day in Montreal on Wednesday as the downtown was packed as the Alouettes celebrated their first Grey Cup since 2010. With no school because of a province-wide strike, many took to the streets to celebrate the underdog Owls winning the Cup in a thrilling 28-24 win over the favored Bombers. This is not video of the parade. This is video of them winning on Sunday. My bad. Great to see the CFL alive and well in the Bell Province with a new owner and revitalized fan base. Means good things for the league going forward. I'll get that video of the parade. There was a parade, I can guarantee it.
I can give you some video of me in the Santa Claus parade if that helps.
Why not?
I've got it right here.
I'm choosing whatever video I want, I guess, this morning.
Come on, let's just show a video, whatever. I can show you some traffic cameras. How would that be? We can start with this morning. This is the 403 and Waterdown Road area. Actually, in the past 12 minutes, it's getting a little bit busier here. We showed this at 6 o'clock, and it was moving really nicely. Now it's getting just a little bit slow. I want to dip into this particular camera. This is the 405 Queenston-Lewiston Bridge crossing. There are some flashing lights way in the distance there. I was trying to focus in to find that particular camera, but the crossing is open. There's no problems right here, of course, being the American Thanksgiving. You might be heading toward the States, but remember now, the Rainbow Bridge is completely closed from yesterday's problems. We'll show you some other cameras. Centennial Parkway still looks good. West of Brant Street, nothing there. East of Dorval, I did have a word of a collision around Dorval, but I can't find it on any of our cameras here. So we'll flip ahead to Cooksville Creek. That's still moving pretty nicely right now. Temperature this morning, we are above seasonal, not quite as mild as it was yesterday morning, where we were 7 degrees to start the day. 3 right now. It is a partly cloudy sky, light southwest wind. As far as air quality is concerned for the day today, once again, no real problems. It's in the low risk category, both morning and afternoon. For school today, 6-degree high. Bit of a west wind, though, 30 gusting to 50. And there is a slim chance of a shower a little later on today, otherwise mostly cloudy. Low pressure system tracking to the north with a trailing cold front is going to go through. That's going to drop our temperatures, and you're going to notice that overnight tonight. But today, not bad, 6 and 7 degrees. There is a chance of a shower later on this afternoon as that cold front gets closer. But yeah, temperatures around to just above seasonal for the day today. But look at tonight. Chilly for Niagara, -2, -4 here at this end of the lake with a wind chill of -8. So it'll be a cold start to the morning tomorrow. And then tomorrow, temperatures don't climb, well, 2 for Niagara, but 0 to +1. And we could get some flurries during the day tomorrow. A little bit of sunshine, but it looks like some flurries in the forecast for tomorrow. So 23rd of November already out the door this morning, partly cloudy, light winds. Temperature right now 3. Long range in a few minutes. Annette, Tim.
Okay, let's go medium range up to Chit Chat and find out what Emily is going to be talking about today.
Well, the Sky Diggers, a big band from the 80s, Canadian band, they are going to be coming to Hamilton to spread a little holiday cheer with us. We'll talk about that.
Okay, we'll see you at the couch in a little bit.
I'll be there.
Okay, coming up after the break, are we going to see some relief at the pumps? Could be. We'll tell you why. 6:17 on your Thursday morning, and the Canadian dollar is up just 1 basis point in overseas trading to 73.08 cents U.S. Gold is up $1, while crude fell another 75 cents to $76.35 a barrel. More on the price of oil in just a moment. Let's check European trading, though, in midday. Markets are down in London, up, though, in Frankfurt and Paris.
Off to Asia we go. Markets are closed in Tokyo, but up in Hong Kong and Shanghai. North American markets on Wednesdays, slight gains for TSX on Bay Street. Some triple-digit gains for the Dow Jones, gains for the NASDAQ. Wall Street closed today for the American Thanksgiving.
Gas prices could be dropping. It's because the price of oil has plunged 4% after a scheduled meeting of the biggest oil-producing nations was delayed. The oil cartel member nations were expected to discuss further cuts to global supply at the upcoming OPEC Plus meeting. The group postponed that meeting until the 30th of this month, but they haven't given a reason. The global benchmark, which is Brent crude, has dropped to $79 U.S. a barrel, and the U.S. benchmark, which is West Texas Intermediate crude, is down to a little more than $75 a barrel.
Bank of Canada governor says while there's evidence inflation ticked down earlier this week, now is not the time to think about cutting interest rates.
When we see clear evidence that we're on that path of 2% inflation, that will be a time to start thinking about cutting interest rates. Right now, it is not time to start thinking about cutting interest rates. We're not, that evidence is just not clear enough yet.
And back on Tuesday, StatsCan data showed inflation in October was lower than the month before, 3.1%, but there have been several ups and downs over the past 6 months. And the Bank of Canada governor says he wants to see an overall downward trend towards the 2% target. Bank of Canada is expected to make its next interest rate announcement coming up on December 6th.
A report from Statistics Canada says hourly wages are fairly stagnant for most workers. It adds wage growth for nurses, teachers, and the trades has been outpaced by wage increases for senior management and for executives. Now, the average wage for those groups was $87.42 an hour. In 2006, their adjusted wage was $53.37 an hour. Inflation-adjusted wages for workers was $17.66 an hour in 2006, up to just over $23 in 2022.
Ontario government wants to put an end to locate fees for gas, water, and other utility lines. So the province says it's to help cut costs for building roads and new homes, but also for safety. Ontario is one of the few jurisdictions in Canada where utility charges a fee for showing where their lines are underground. To avoid the fee, some projects go ahead with the dig with disastrous results. If passed, the Building Infrastructure Safety Act would streamline the process and cut down on the number of times a locate needs to be repeated.
Okay, taking a break right now. Brian's going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast. It includes the weekend.
And it's getting colder.
6:24 already. It's a Thursday morning, 23rd of November. Still have some lingering construction across the Garden City Skyway. Here's the Garden City Skyway. This is the east camera, as you can see. So we're looking at Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us. We've got 2 lanes blocked here due to construction. How about we check the other Skyway, Burlington Skyway, on the Hamilton side, getting a little busier, but still moving okay. East of Appleby, no problems. Erin Mills Parkway through Mississauga is fine. Even the 403 through Mississauga, no problems. Keep in mind, Hamilton Water is doing some emergency sewer work on the Jolly Cut, the mountain access. It'll be the upbound lanes, some restrictions there. That's going to be going for, well, it could be a week, so be prepared for that. All right, checking temperatures that we have at the moment. Hamilton sitting at 3, Grimsby a little cooler at 2, but 4 and 5 for Mississauga into Toronto. Seasonal overnight lows, -2, so we are above seasonal to start the morning here. 5 for the daytime high. Those are our sun times and records for today. We could get a shower today. That could be a little later this afternoon, but 3 for the first bell this morning going into school, and 6, there's the high for the day, but there's that chance of a shower late this afternoon. So that's today, 6 degrees, -4 tonight. It's going to be a lot colder with a wind chill of -8, and that's how we'll start the day tomorrow. Tomorrow we're only going to climb to 0, right on the freezing mark, so we could get some flurries during the day tomorrow, otherwise mainly cloudy. Fairly cloudy on Saturday. Clouds will build as the day goes on. At least we climb to the plus side. 1, chance of some flurries, some mixing precipitation actually on Sunday, and 2, and then some sun, but still staying on the cool side for the beginning of next week. That's your forecast. And Tim.
Okay. Tea at the White House is now being served on Parliament Hill. Not a cross-border coup. This tea is from Tea at the White House, right down the road from us in Waterdown.
We've been there many times. Their specially packed maple Earl Grey is now being sold in the Parliamentary Boutique in Ottawa.
Now, that's Flamborough MP Dan Muse with Andrew May from the tea shop. You can pick up Maple Earl Grey in Ottawa or in Waterdown. It's also available at the Tea at the White House website. And many thanks to Andrew for sending along a little package for us yesterday, making us aware of this. So
This is the best because, hey, Andrew.
Very good. Thank
morning,
you.
Andrew. Andrew knows that I love my Earl Grey, and I love to put maple syrup in my Earl Grey. So when I told him that, he's like, we actually have something for you right here. Maple infused Earl Grey.
And it's cool because now that they're selling it on Parliament Hill, it has the little seal. Seal of approval there.
Congrats, guys. Never been there. Great spot. Andrew's the best. And everybody that works there. So good stuff. Okay. 1/2 hour down on your Thursday morning. It is getting chilly.
That calls for a tea.
Oh, I think so.
I think so.
Does that mean I got to make you one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Go now.